Okay, so welcome to a new episode of my amazing show. And last week, people complained about it being too left wing, so I got none other than world famous communist Bilal Coxon.
Hello.
He is the
No,
only communist I know.
I'm a capitalist now. I changed my mind over the evening.
You know, you're the only capitalist communist I know that's picked up an economics book, but I don't think you
Oh
took
yeah.
it in. I do not think you took it in.
Well, you'll be getting the capitalist angle from me this time.
Yeah, that's true.
And Pete's going for the commie angle because he hasn't read an economics book, so that's what he'll be going for.
Yeah, I know. Wait, does capital count?
Yeah, it's a heavy capital. That's an economics book, but
Alright, okay. That's fine. I can live with that.
have you
Yeah.
read the first paragraph, my friend?
No.
It doesn't start as well as the Communist Manifesto, to be honest.
Alright. How does the Communist Manifesto
You know
start
that
then?
there's a spectre haunting Europe, the spectre of communism. That
Fucking
fucking
hell.
classic. It's the one with like you've got nothing to lose but your chains and all of that fucking claptrap.
Right, so the UK election, talk us through it.
Okie dokie. Some say it's a power grab. Others say it's a fucking shit idea. Um,
But
basically.
it's both. It's both.
Yeah, it is both. Labour are doing the worst they've done in a century. So Theresa
But
May.
wait, they've been around for a century. Not even.
No, I think it was what 1907. So they've got a little bit. They have a little bit on the end that they can be
Okay.
proud of. They were doing. Well, they were
Fuck.
doing worse. So they're not doing
What about when
that bad.
Gordon Ramsay was in charge?
Gordon Brown. He
Yeah.
had a good honeymoon period, but it fucked up because he basically he didn't call an election. So that ties into what Theresa May's doing.
Yeah.
He kept promising he'd have an election, and Theresa May was always like, you know, always sort of insulted him for not holding an election, saying he was unelected, and then everyone moaned at her for not holding one herself.
So she went and fucking did it, the absolute
She
madman.
went and did it, and she's saying she wants to have a mandate, but that's not really what it is. It's basically, I want full control over the Brexit negotiations.
Mm-hmm. But like, do you reckon she's gonna get it? Do you reckon she's gonna get more seats?
Well, she's looking to get at least 60 right now, but everyone's basically been saying, and it's such a stupid idea, where she's not going for live debates. She's not talking to the press properly. Jeremy Corbyn, his campaign kickoff, he went out and did a big march and talked to loads of people, and Theresa May flew in on a helicopter into this like fucking small field with like 5 Tories and didn't speak to the fucking cameras. So like people are wondering, like, can you be that sure that you're gonna win?
Yeah, I mean, she's really underestimating this shit, because, I don't know, Labour has had a pretty bad run lately. But the
Yeah,
thing
definitely.
is, with Labour, they've lost Scotland completely at this point,
Oh
so
yeah,
I don't know how they're gonna win.
I think they'll win like a few seats back from the SNP
Yeah, I
this
think they
time
might
around.
actually.
But
Or even, I'll tell you what, some of the fucking Tories might win their
yeah,
seats back.
I can see Tory seats because
Especially in Edinburgh.
yeah, they're second in the Scottish Parliament. Is Ruth Davison's Ruth
Yeah, she's
Davison's an
this.
MSP, but
Yeah, she's the Scottish
mhm.
leader for the opposition.
Is her seat in Edinburgh?
I'm not sure. It
I'm
might be.
gonna check. Because if so, then there's a good chance that a Conservative will get in Edinburgh. To be fair, she went to university um, in
Yeah.
Edinburgh.
All right. Okay. Didn't you
Then
see her in the street or
Edinburgh
something?
Central. Yeah, I did. She was walking a dog down the street, looking quite happy with herself.
Well, you shouldn't have said anything like you didn't, which is
I
nice.
didn't say anything. I think it would have
Yeah.
been. I'd have got a restraining order. It would have been embarrassing. She'd have mentioned me on her Twitter saying how bad the left is and all that sort of stuff.
I think she's nice. I don't know.
I don't know. I think it would have warped into I was holding a brick at her fucking face and all this sort of stuff.
Yeah, but like Scotland's got the gayest parliament, and the leader of the opposition is a fucking
Is that
massive
sounds like a fucking?
lesbian.
That sounds like an insult, man. You gayest
Nah, but
pal.
they do. They literally do. Because I mean, even the leader of the opposition is a massive ass lesbian. You know,
Oh yeah, well yeah.
like Nicola Sturgeon could ride
Have you
her
seen
like
her
a fucking
dresses?
horse.
At least she didn't wear those. What were they like? What were they fucking like 500 pound Versace like brown leather fucking flares, man. Fucking Theresa
Yeah,
May.
dude, what's that noise on your end? Alright, it's gone.
On your end,
It's what?
I hear it down your end. Your voice has got a shite.
Alright.
Oh,
Nah,
it's
cause
back.
yeah, it's good. Right, never mind. I'll just edit this bit out. But yeah, where were we? Ruth Davidson.
Ruth Davidson, man. She's like the shining light of the Scottish Tory party because she seems so fucking moderate. Like you've got to be moderate in the Scottish Parliament. Like this, you can't
Yeah,
be
you really
like too
do.
far either way. Um, and like I don't know. I think do you think a lot of her votes might be like anti-independence votes?
Yeah, I think it might
Because
be.
people see Labour like they're a unionist party, but Scottish people see them as they'd probably jump into bed with the SNP the first chance they got these days because things are so fucking desperate for them in Scotland.
Yeah, I mean they might, but then again, if they do, then they'll lose Scotland, you know. So it's weird.
I feel like they'd lose a lot of England if
If they jumped into bed with
yeah
S&P.
they see the SNP as like so
Yeah,
unpatriotic. Well, they are unpatriotic to the UK, but they'd see it as such a stab in the back.
like the IRA or something, basically.
Like what? You cut out.
Like the IRA.
Yeah, like I guess they
You
see
know
them like the
the
IRA, but like a less fun IRA.
yeah, the IRA is like the biggest party in Ireland now, or the opposition. I'm
You
not
mean
sure.
Sinn Féin?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a good who's that fucking guy?
Wait,
Oh,
hang on, you
what's his
cut out.
fucking face?
I
He did
can't hear
like
you at all.
he pretends to be like a radio show host. Steve Coogan.
Yeah.
He did this like this sketch with like this Sinn Féin guy getting interviewed, but he had to do it on helium, and he was like "We're a real political party" in like a really high pitched voice. It was fucking class.
Fucking hell. Yeah. But that really surprised me when I found that out. The leader of Sinn Féin is
Was
used to
it?
be on the FBI's most wanted
Yeah.
list.
Are you talking about Martin McGuinness?
Yeah. Yeah.
Rest his soul.
It's fucking mental.
Yeah. Mostly these
Wait, is he
days.
dead?
Yeah, he died like this year.
What the fuck?
Yeah,
I
man.
didn't know this.
Hi.
Shit.
But
Shit.
like all the IRA do these days is they like they give guns to like fucking 19-year-olds to kill fucking drug dealers because they have this they just fucking hate drug dealers. Like yeah, there's like some towns where like if you're a drug dealer you're pretty much killed by the IRA like the minute they know.
He died last month.
Yeah, man.
Shit.
I was gonna say like pure RIP, but I didn't want to get in trouble
Yeah.
because
Did you
the
hear?
man heavy bombed people like.
Yeah. Did you hear about Thingy getting fucking fired? Bill O'Reilly.
Bill O'Reilly, I did, but I know fuck all about Bill O'Reilly. I don't
It's
pay
fucking
attention.
mental, right? So
Wasn't he
here's
like
the
a news guy and a talk show host or some shit?
yeah. So he was basically like a far right conservative,
Yeah.
American like conservative. So you know, like the Earth is 6,000 years old and all that shit,
Oh yeah.
right? And he was on Fox News, and
Oh, I
he
thought he was
was
Fox,
the
yeah.
single richest, biggest like talk show host
Okay.
in the world, right? And he got fired because a lot of allegations came out that he was fucking molesting his fellow co-workers, like female co-workers, right?
Oh yeah.
And one of the reports was that he called one of his assistants or something up at night, and he he said on the phone that he wants to fondle her with a falafel,
He just he
But
sounds.
what he meant was to say that he wants to fondle her with a loofah.
What's a loofah?
It's like a sponge on a stick.
Oh, he sounds like a fucking. All right, he sounds like a fucking cheeky chancer to me.
Yeah, no, he used to. I don't know, but I'm fairly sure he fucking criticized Bill Clinton for creeping up
Oh
on
right, that's
bitches as
fucking
well.
class,
So
man.
I
I don't
mean,
want to talk about the hypocrisy of the right or anything.
yeah, that would be too easy to deconstruct.
Yeah, you've kind of got to like expect this sort of stuff from like 70s TV,
Oh yeah,
like personalities there
he
at
went
this point.
to yeah, he went to uni with Howard Stern. They were in the same dorm.
I
It's
also
fucking
don't know
weird.
who Howard Stern is.
What the fuck? He's like this proper like hippie, edgy like radio talk show
Alright,
host.
were they friends?
No, not
I
really.
can imagine they weren't.
I'll send you a link to the video where Bill O'Reilly
Yeah.
went on Howard Stern. It was fucking weird.
Did you see the video of him like getting pure mad angry because he couldn't do the lines on the teleprompter?
Yeah, yeah,
He was going crazy, and in the end, he just like he fucking he just made it up as he went along. It was fucking class.
yeah. It was fucking weird.
Yeah,
But I mean, it still got recorded, so what was the fucking point? You know, it was still
yeah,
fucking weird.
that's true.
Yeah, but anyway, French election. Thoughts?
What?
Thoughts on the French election?
Well, I'm a bit upset that what's his name, Melancon, uh, is out. It's also
What's
weird
he
that
about?
he was like a he wasn't a socialist, but he was about as close as you could get for the French presidential elections. And the guy, what's his name, Fillon?
Yeah,
He's from. Is he from the current ruling party?
I'm
Um,
not sure. He might be. I'm not sure,
like
honestly.
taking the place of
Hollande.
Hollande, yeah. So
Yeah.
basically, no one from the main parties has actually got through to the first round.
Well,
I mean,
that's
the second
good.
round.
Well, that's good though, because I
Yeah,
mean,
except you've got you got the National Front and En Marche.
you nearly said Nazis there. Fuck.
Yeah, well, Front National. I mean, it's pretty much fucking Nazi, man.
Yeah. And the boy is like a centrist, which makes him gay.
Yeah, basically,
Right. What's your
radical,
beef?
pure mad radical centrism. They can't commit to anything. It's embarrassing.
So what's the third way then that he's doing? Because he's the third way
The
guy.
third way is basically in the mid slash early 90s, politicians like Clinton and Blair basically said, we're done with the right wing left wing sort of divide, all the working class and big business, and they basically decided to pretend they're for the working class and also
Right.
for big business, when in actual fact, I mean, they like the welfare state, but they'll like lick the boot of fucking McDonald's sort of thing.
Alright. So it's
And
just
it went well for a while.
did it? And
It did.
then what happened? The war in Iraq.
I don't even think it was that. I mean, I guess I don't know what happened in America with Bush. I mean, it's a bit like it's still a bit controversial with you know, him winning the was it the first time round or
Uh,
in 2001 when what's his
yeah.
face,
Al Gore.
Al Gore and Jeb Bush was doing the counting in Florida.
Yeah. But
Oh no, he wasn't like he didn't like sit there and count
yeah,
every fucking
I know.
vote,
That's
whatever,
the
but, you
thing.
know.
People say like it's really difficult to rig an election, and by the time they counted it was like 2,000 votes or something in Bush's favor. So I mean,
Yeah, but like he had like a couple of months into his term, he had some of the worst approval ratings of like any
yeah. But then
president in
9/11
recent times.
happened.
Then 9/11 happened, and he was like, "Well, fuck, we're gonna like kill some terrorists. God bless America and all this shit." And he went way up. I mean, he spent. I think it's like his first like year. He spent 90 days on the golf course
Why?
because he likes fucking golf. That's what like presidents do, man. They play golf.
Yeah, Trump's played the most golf out of any president.
Oh, I'm sure he's probably built the most golf courses out of any fucking president, to
He's
be
the
honest.
oldest. He's the oldest president ever to be elected.
Really?
Yeah, he's fucking
Oh,
70.
he is fucking old. But like,
Yeah, I think the
man,
second oldest isn't far behind. It's like 60 something, like 8 or something.
yeah.
I'm not sure, but it's fucking mental. He's also the richest, obviously, and
Was Obama the youngest?
I think JFK was a bit younger than Obama.
Alright, because it's not like mad in like Britain when they were like prime ministers from fucking
18.
centuries ago, where they were like, no, they were pure, yeah, pure sick. No, I'm sure they were like pure fucking 15-year-old prime ministers and shit
Nah,
like
you
that.
had to be 18 from the start. No, you had to be 21. Then they lowered it to
Fuck off.
18.
I'm gonna check.
Just like the gay age of consent. And then, what are you looking
Mm.
up?
Youngest prime minister was William Pitt the young, the younger. Uh, how old was he? He was 24.
Yeah,
Fair enough.
but
That makes sense.
that's pretty fucking good to be prime minister too.
Yeah, I mean, he probably
Uh,
got like chucked there by his like
yeah, the centrist boy in
landlord friend.
France who's gonna get elected is like 39, which is makes him
Really?
younger than any American president.
Yeah. I
So,
mean, here, I was like thinking, okay, 21, 23%, Macron with 23% so far.
hmm
All the votes aren't counted. And Le Pen with 21%.
right,
I was thinking, okay, so Macron's got, I mean, it's kind of a substantial lead, but I've seen that now that 67% of the votes are counted, and they're both on 21%.
hmm,
The difference is Le Pen doesn't. There's like Hamon, and there's Mélenchon, and Mélenchon got like 19%, and Hamon got 6.5, right?
right,
And they're gonna vote for Macron. They're not gonna vote for Le Pen.
yeah. Well,
So I mean,
that's good, right? Because
he's
the
got it in the
EU,
bag.
if the EU falls apart, that's bad for everyone.
Yeah, well, if France goes, then
The EU will go, definitely.
that's the end of the EU.
The
They say
only
there's a precedent.
the only thing that's fine with that is that Poland doesn't have the euro, so we'd be kind of okay. I mean,
Well, outside of the EU,
what? Yeah. I mean, we'd still
aren't
be
you like the
fucked.
biggest net beneficiaries?
I think not anymore.
Oh, it's probably like,
It's probably like Croatia or something. But I mean, if all the people came back and um, we didn't have the euro, so the economy wouldn't collapse, I think we'd be
yeah.
okay.
I think, I mean, I'm not Polish, but it's a big part of the anti-EU sentiment, except for not liking Germany, is it all their workers basically being exported away to different
No, no one
countries?
really,
No.
no one really talks about that anymore because that kind of stopped.
All right.
But yeah, that was a big issue in like the in 2004 to like 2010. But
Yeah, of
then
course there'd be a surge at the very start.
yeah, but then people just kind of stopped leaving and started coming back a bit, and it just I mean, I think overall 500,000 people left in the last 10 years, so it's not that bad.
All right. See, back in the 60s, like everyone was leaving the UK. Like it
Yeah,
was such a
I know.
crisis, and that's why that we got people
Yeah.
from like the West Indies and
Yeah.
Pakistan and
Well,
stuff like that
the
to come
thing
out.
is, my mom was telling me that her boss told her that before Poland joined the EU,
Yeah,
she'd have to like, cause she works in a hotel, she'd go out like in her car outside the job center and shout like, "Who wants a job cleaning hotels for today?" And like she'd get prostitutes and shit to clean rooms, cause there was
really?
no labor force, like there was no workforce in Britain. And
That's
like
mad.
Britain, Britain's in the EU, then all these countries joined the EU, and like all these workers just flood Britain, and Britain fucking recovered really quickly. And now they're
Yeah.
leaving because they're ungrateful cunts. But hey, whatever. I'm not mad.
I don't know if that makes you.
But the thing about Trump fucking cracked me up when I saw the thing in the newspaper. Like Britain actually thought it was gonna be ahead of the EU in the fucking
Yeah,
queue to do deals. He's not gonna do that.
27 member states versus
Yeah. What's the
one, because
GDP?
he's an apparent Anglophile.
Yeah,
It's
the GDP of EU, the EU
I
without Britain's like 15
I'm not sure.
trillion.
But
It's
I
15
think
trillion.
yeah, I
Yeah.
know it'll be the still be like the third biggest,
No, second biggest.
second biggest GDP, best
Yeah.
GDP
Yeah.
though. All right, or maybe it's third biggest army.
No, because China. No, China's third. China's second officially, but the EU, if you count the EU as one
Yeah,
country, the EU is second. And adjusted for purchasing power parity, EU is number one, like way ahead. Because you've got
yeah.
fucking countries like, for example, Poland, where the GDP is half a trillion, but when you adjust it for purchasing power parity, it's $1 trillion.
All right.
And you've got all this shit, so like it's really cheap to live in the EU, and people are earning a lot just because of the difference in like all the economies of the countries and shit. But yeah, not May, but everyone was like, "You and Trump's gonna put us ahead in the fucking
It's
queue."
because he said you'd be at the front of the queue, and everyone thinks he's an Anglophile. He put like a bust of fucking Churchill back in the Oval Office and all this sort of mad shit.
Jesus. But like,
Yeah, well, because his mom's Scottish, eh?
yeah, she's where he gets the fucking ugly. Like, I was like, where does Trump get his ugly from? Then I
Oh my
looked up
god,
his mom.
she kind of reminds me of like a weirder fucking
Frog.
Sharon Osbourne.
Yeah, a bit.
She's fucking weird, man. But no, fucking see, like a big part of the EU debate was obviously, yeah, taking back control of our laws and stuff like this.
Yeah.
But if you have a trade deal with the US, that's pretty much your laws figured out for you.
Yeah.
That's pretty much that done. And if you rewrite a new trade deal outside of the EU with the EU, you still have to conform to their laws regarding trade. They still need standards like that. So it doesn't actually achieve anything except that you don't get to choose what the laws are within the actual bloc.
Yeah.
Because
Exactly.
like you can't be us this day and age. You can't like survive outside of a trading bloc. Every like the US is in an American trading bloc.
Yeah.
South America's in one.
Africa's in one.
Yeah. It makes no sense.
Yeah, I know.
Just because this one's it's a little bit more of a politicized and closer knit.
I mean, the best part about Brexit was Nigel Farage, who is an elected member of the European Parliament, shouting about unelected people. In the EU, fucking like what you're elected. Like,
it's crazy.
I mean,
but people
you don't elect the leader of the EU because it's swapped. Right now it's the Polish guy. I think the Croatian guy's next or something like that. It swaps every year.
I thought it was Malta now though.
Oh yeah, Malta now, yeah. So yeah, it swaps, right? And I mean, you don't fucking elect the queen, right? But she doesn't run shit, does she? She doesn't really, like, I don't know.
No. The European Council like suggests policies.
Yeah.
That's all they do. They suggest policies. And then the EU Parliament votes on that. Basically, I used to think that the leaders of the sovereign nations got a veto, but it was actually just in the Parliament that they get a veto. I had no idea about that. So our veto is basically UKIP.
Yeah.
Which is not a fucking great thought in my opinion.
Well, that's why you should go out and vote for the EU Parliament, like I do.
Yeah, no one does it. Well, you do. There we go. I wouldn't think you were allowed.
No, I am, because it's
you
the
haven't
EU.
got citizenship.
Yeah, but I'm allowed for the EU and Scottish ones.
The last EU elections were 2014, right?
Yeah, that's the one I voted for. And I voted for Greens. I think they won, actually.
No, UKIP won.
Not for Scotland. Or whatever.
Oh, I don't think it was Scotland.
Or whatever part I'm in. I'm sure it was Greens or something. I don't know.
I remember it vaguely. Then I think the Greens did well, but
aren't the Greens are quite big in Europe, aren't they? I think they were like the opposition party in Germany for a while.
Really?
I don't quote me on this, but I think they might have been.
Alright.
I know there's a lot of Green MEPs. Yeah, MEPs.
Yeah, it's weird, you know. Angela Merkel. Like in this country, she's seen as like so left wing,
Yeah,
but she's like
she's the conservative.
she's the conservative over there. I've been told though that it's actually because she's in a coalition with quite a left leaning government. So like
Yeah,
the sort of policies they're keeping her afloat, so she has to like move further to
yeah.
the left. But that still doesn't like warrant
That's
like saying
why.
like
That's why they.
every refugee can come round, because that's just like career destroying shit. So
Yeah,
I'm sure she wasn't forced into that.
yeah, I know. I mean, it was really stupid of them to do that, to be honest.
Without, she didn't even like consult other European powers before she said it. It was such
Yeah,
I think it's gonna end her career because their
yeah.
elections are coming up really soon.
But I mean, she's been around for like 10 years now, so fuck it. Like,
Yeah, nobody beats Putin on the tenure.
it's like the Polish boy who's in charge of the EU now. He was prime minister for 8 years,
Oh
and
yeah,
I remember at the start he was saying Polish people who leave are like cowards for abandoning a sinking ship and shit. And he's literally like in Brussels now and shit. So I mean,
man, how can your leader call your own country a sinking ship?
yeah, I know.
That's pretty terrible, man.
It's just,
You don't talk down your country like that
see, that's the
unless you're in
thing. That's
opposition.
the thing about Eastern Europe. We can admit when we're like when we need help, but
Yeah.
you guys seem to always be like, you know, we're still a great power. Like you all think it's 1852. I don't
Can
know.
we? I mean, it really came to light in the at the start of these EU negotiations. Like I still thought um, that the UK had some like world influence, right? But then like every red line that Theresa had, the EU is like, well, we're not going to vote for that, so you'll have to go it alone. So it's like
Yeah,
the UK is just like, I think it's surviving on this like pretending to have influence.
yeah. Basically, it's like have you ever seen The Winters? Like it's not that good, but they have this they had this joke in it. They were like we have to make deals with the Commonwealth. It's the most important trading bloc in the world.
I
Fucking
mean, I think it could be again, but
mate,
like,
what like Australia with 20 million citizens and fucking New Zealand with like 5.
yeah. And what's Canada got? Like fuck all anybody there, but
38.
fucking
It's 38. It's the same as Poland.
38 people.
It's like the one above Poland or below or something like that. It's no 38 million.
Really? I thought
Yeah.
it was less than that.
No.
Oh yeah, 35 million.
Yeah.
Close.
Yeah.
Are you on this channel ever gonna like showcase your geography knowledge?
Sure, go for it if you want. Fucking, I don't know.
Population of Australia?
28.
23. What's he with the N8, mate?
I don't know.
Can we talk about uh baby killer Tony Blair for a while?
Yeah, sure, go for it.
Okie dokie. So he's been sitting in the back like a fucking Sith Lord for like ever since he left his job, right, as Prime Minister.
Yeah.
He wouldn't support fucking Ed Miliband on like pretty much fucking anything. Every fucking waking chance he gets, he like whispers to some journalist that he's gonna fucking come back so people fucking talk about him. Man, he's like he looks fucking reptilian. I know it's a bit overdone, but he fucking looks like a reptile, man.
Yeah, I know what you mean. What was he
The man's
saying?
he's had too many chances, man.
Yeah, what was he saying on the thing? He was saying vote conservative or something.
It's a bit like I kind of painted him as like, oh, he's saying vote conservative, but he's basically saying vote conservative or Lib Dem wherever they're open to Brexit. He's basically saying Labour has no chance of getting in. I don't like Jeremy Corbyn, so your best bet of getting a good Brexit is to vote for like open-minded conservatives.
Right. Or Lib
But like in
Dems.
any other party, you get kicked straight out.
Yeah. Yeah.
Do you think he pays his membership, or do you think he just hangs around at the back of their meetings, man?
I don't know. I think he might just be like in the background getting like complimentary cake and a cup of tea, just listening in on conversations, taking
man.
taking
And, like,
notes. And when he fucking
the only
comes back in 10 years, he's gonna have dirt on everyone, right?
Yeah, man. I think that no, I think the only reason that they treat him like this and like treat him so well is like so he doesn't fucking come back. Like they really don't want it. It's
Yeah.
so much bad blood for the party.
Why did he leave? What happened?
What do you
What?
mean? Why did it? Basically, his vote was falling, and the only reason he got into power basically was through the help of Gordon Brown, who was his Chancellor of the Exchequer,
Mm,
and he promised Gordon Brown a go, and he had no intentions of like letting him have a go, but shit got bad, and I think Gordon Brown and fucking Alistair Campbell like stabbed him in the back,
shit.
and so he left. I mean, people weren't happy with really weren't happy with the way the Iraq War was going, and so I mean,
Yeah.
it was always
I
gonna happen.
mean, John Major was before him, right?
Yeah, he looks like a fucking teddy bear in my opinion. Do you not think he looks like a teddy bear?
I don't know. I've not seen John Major.
Google his fucking face. He looks like a teddy bear. He had this. I'm typing it on Google and I accidentally typed in John Major. Fucking no.
Oh shit!
Seriously.
He does. He does.
He's so
He
fucking
the
weird,
first
right?
the first picture on Google, he's wearing like 70s glasses, like 70s pedophile glasses.
Yeah, man, I see it.
Yeah, it's
No, I don't know if you'll be able to find it, but he did like he did like this statement like when he was prime minister on this like really important shit, and he like literally tucked his shirt into his boxers, and you could like fucking see them, man. It's fucking terrible.
who was before him? It was Thatcher, wasn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, it was good old Thatcher. She went because of the poll tax, and then he came in, and he was like,
Yeah.
"Oh, back to basics," and like got into this morality row because like all of his MPs were like found in bed with like male prostitutes and shit like that. It's fucking hilarious.
Fucking hell! I was watching Jeremy Corbyn talk shit to Margaret Thatcher. It was fun.
Yeah, no, that's good. Did you see the one where he's like being interviewed outside of Parliament, and he's got like this fucking knitted jumper on, and he's like, "Oh, my mum knitted
Yeah,
it, and I got
he got the
these
shirt
trousers
from
for the co-op."
Co-op. Yeah,
The fuck, man, it's too good.
yeah. Did you see the last PM's question time with David Cameron?
I did.
He was like, "Thank your mum for the advice on the dressing."
Oh
He
yeah,
was like, "You look fabulous." It was fucking. Uh, if only he wasn't. If he was. If only he wasn't a baby killer as well.
oh yeah. No, I thought it was like I know like
I miss
politicians and
Cameron.
when I think it was a bit stepping over the mark when he was at like prime minister's questions, and he literally he basically told fucking Jeremy Corbyn to fuck off and called him useless. He's like, why don't you just fucking give up? It's fucking bad.
Yeah, I don't know. I kind of miss Cameron because Theresa May's gonna fuck up.
At least he had an ounce of like charisma.
Yeah, he did. He was alright.
Oh, my mum's and like I've seen like some writings around the place. People are like sort of feeling skeptic about how much Theresa May actually wants to win,
Hmm.
and the thought process goes basically like she's it looks like she's got a sure win, but she's like not putting effort into it. She's not going through the live debates and all of this stuff, right? Maybe like it looks like the EU aren't going to give her anything she wants,
Yeah,
right?
they're not.
So she said she wasn't going to call an early election until like she triggered Article 50. It didn't look like it's going to go the way she wants it to. What if Labour gets in?
And
They do the
they fuck up.
negotiation. It all falls to pieces. They fuck up. People resent them. People resent Jeremy Corbyn. The Conservatives get back in power because obviously, if the negotiations fuck up, there'll be another fucking election, and it's another chance to get back in. She can go, well, look, see, he tried it. They're rubbish. It's all his fault that this all Labour's fault that
Yeah.
the negotiations went badly. I mean, it's a fucking conspiracy theory and a half, but
Nah, I mean it kind of makes sense from a sort of chess
yeah,
standpoint.
because like maybe Corbyn will go after this snap election, and there'll be someone else, and people still won't trust Labour. But this Brexit is going to kill the Tory party. It's going to destroy. Like Theresa's not going to survive her premiership. It's like over. No, I don't think any administration could survive it.
Yeah, I know because the EU has just went no. to
Yeah,
everything. Because they have the power to do that. Like, how didn't they know before Brexit that they have the power to do that? The EU is just such a force compared to the
yeah.
UK. How?
I think it didn't help that there was such a fucking during the referendum there was such a piss poor show of arguments from the Remain side compared to the fucking
Yeah,
the
yeah.
the Leave side. There was there was like, oh, we're gonna strike trade deals with the rest of the world and it's all gonna be great and we'll get our country back. But Remain just was just like, oh yeah,
Mhm.
the economy's gonna be fucking shit and stuff like that. They didn't literally talk about how powerful the EU actually is.
Yeah. But I mean, I don't know. A lot of young people didn't go to vote. I think that swung it a lot. Because when you talk
Yeah,
to people, it's usually just old people who are like, yeah, but
yeah,
I
it would have
want
been one
Britain
of
to
the young
be
people.
back to what it was when I was young. And it's like,
Yeah.
it can't be. Right.
I feel like our position is too left wing right now. We needed a right wing on board. A right winger on board.
Yeah. Alright, on that happy note, let's end this bullshit.
Goodbye.
Good night.